Shalom, this video is about marijuana use in Judaism. I've been asked to do a video about what I think and what I think Jewish sources say about it. Well, of course, there are two sides to it, like any good rabbi or Talmudic discussion or debate. So I want to tell you what are generally viewed to be the negative sides. First of all, in most jurisdictions, it's illegal. And Judaism clearly prohibits doing anything that's against the law of the land unless the law is immoral. I can't really say that prohibiting marijuana, where it may not be advisable, is immoral. In the case of this, there's a principle, dina de malchuta dina, and I have a video just on that subject. The law of the land is the law, so that if the law and your fellow citizens believe marijuana should be illegal, then it's illegal. If you decide to violate the law, the question is what extent of a sin is that? I mean, many people violate laws every day. I took a driving course once, and the head person teaching the course said, everybody who drives violates the law every day. It's a question of, are you caught by the policeman? So the question is, how severe a sin is marijuana use and violating the law? Well, some jurisdictions have made it very non-significant by making it like a parking ticket. Others consider it very serious, and I think the general trend in the culture has been to make it a smaller and smaller transgression. Doesn't mean it's right. Secondly, you've got health issues. First of all, you're ingesting a smoke deep into the lungs, and that can be dangerous. Also, I believe that people tell me that the marijuana today is much stronger than it was 10, 20, 30 years ago, and that it's gotten to be more dangerous. There's all kinds of carcinogens and pesticides and stuff in the marijuana that can be dangerous. Now, the smoking part can be mitigated partly if you ingest it in other ways, but that's still something that's very significant to ponder, because Jewish law prohibits doing anything that presents a sakanat nefesh, an impediment to your good health. There's also a sense of bitul Torah, that wasting of Torah time, that when you're doing that, it's frivolous activity and you could be doing something more substantive. And also there are consequences. It's still viewed by many in the culture as something that's a derelict activity, and you may have to pay consequences if you're caught. So those are all considerations on the anti-use. Now, on the positive use, there have been lots of studies which show that the society making marijuana illegal is, the cost-benefit analysis is terrible. That we spend so much of the court system and our precious resources dealing with people that are smoking marijuana rather than other serious crimes. And studies have concluded that it's a waste. Now, in addition to that, all of the drug cartels that get funds and power because of the illegal nature of marijuana is disgusting, and people are killed all the time. They're very powerful organizations. They're very dangerous. And I know they often deal with higher level drugs, but they deal a lot with marijuana. If marijuana was legal, a lot of that power would go away, besides bringing large tax revenue, and it could be regulated, the quality could be regulated by the government. Now, our culture is sort of presented a mixed bag on this by making marijuana available in many states now for medical purposes. And I know that there are jokes about how easy it is to get exemptions, or to tell the doctor your ankle hurts so you need marijuana. And those are definitely challenges, but the society is making a point, and the Jewish value there is that it's considered a mitzvah, meritorious, to relieve the pain of the suffering and the ill. And there are even medieval sources that say you could use dangerous drugs to relieve the pain of somebody who's ill. So medical marijuana seems to be something that would be a mitzvah in terms of relieving the people that are hurting. You definitely have the issue of Shabbat and Yontif. Smoking is prohibited on Shabbat altogether. You can't light a match. On Yontif, it's not prohibited as long as you don't light the match. So anyway, those are some of the issues. And I think the main concern that people have is that we tried to regulate alcohol, prohibited, it didn't work. And a lot of people say that marijuana is even better than alcohol, although the culture for some reason considers alcohol to be okay, but marijuana to be not okay, and I'm not sure why that is. Tell you a funny story. There was a Supreme Court nominee named Ginsburg, a Harvard law professor, years ago, before Ruth Bader Ginsburg got on, and he was denied the election to the Supreme Court because a story came out that he smoked marijuana with his students, and he's a professor at Harvard Law School. And the big headlines in the paper said Ginsburg denied because he smoked dope or something like that. And I remember walking into my office one day, and some congregant had taken and Xeroxed it in huge letters as a joke and papered it all over my office because the name was spelled the same way. Anyway, so I think that's what I think about it. It's not a terrible sin. I know some people find great enjoyment in it. It can obviously lead to habituation, and some people claim it can lead to higher level drugs. Some people I see online have testified that that happened to them. That's definitely a concern. But I think overall, the way the culture is moving in the direction, you're not going to see politicians who are going to make it legal, like smoking Cuban cigars, for example. But it also doesn't seem to be a great sin, and I wouldn't make it my top 20 issues of concern in the culture. I hope that sheds some light. It's not a black or white issue, I think, but there are certainly some things to bring to bear. Just to summarize again, you've got the issue of Dina de Malchuta Dina, the law of the land. You've got health issues, Sakanat Nefesh, about health of the soul. You've got relieving pain issues, and then you've got the whole question about why would we allow alcohol to be legal and marijuana to be not legal. Anyway, so those are just some of the considerations.